I can't even.
Mama, I can't.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to I Can't Even. Um, I first of all, I didn't ask this guest if they were ready to start recording, because that's not how I roll. But this is a very, very special guest, very special to me. From the beginning of the pod, I have wanted this absolute superstar. You may know them as the winner of RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars season 2, and they are the winner of their original season, In My Heart. They also have a very
Wow,
popular.
drag jinx. Wow.
Sorry to bring up that
Drag
that
jinx
sore
monsoon's
point.
career.
Give it up right now for Alaska Thunderfuck. Yeah. Oh my God, this is so exciting. I'm so excited to have you.
Oh my
Best
God,
look
what an
yet.
honor.
Um,
Thanks for asking me.
Thank you for coming. You're a busy lady. What have you been up to
Yeah.
today?
Today I went to Nigel's, which is what do you ever go to Nigel's?
No, I'm from the Midwest. I don't. What is
But you live in
Nigel?
LA now.
I do. I do. I do.
Okay. Oh my God, I get to impart with this wisdom to you. This is like when someone tells you what Santee Alley is and you're like, what is that? And then you go there and you're like, it's kind of like that. Nigel's is in the valley and it's like a makeup emporium.
Oh my God.
It's where, like, if you're a makeup artist, you can go there to buy your kit and you can buy your bobby pins, and they have every type of fucking industrial bobby pin and safety pin and comb and
Oh my
makeup
God.
brush, and every makeup brand, like from fucking special effects makeup to like cosmetic-y shit, Danessa Mira, like whatever, eyelashes. I went there because I needed fucking 301s.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
I've been using the same pair of lashes, I think maybe for a long time. These eyelashes have been around the world and I've used them a lot of places. So I needed to like I want that, like, I want that Bianca Del Rio look where it's like, oh, she stacks 45 pairs and then throws them out at the end of the day and they're fresh
This
every
is
time.
this is
Those look good.
six. This is 6 pairs.
Six pair. How often do you reuse them?
I've had these for 3 years. No,
Are
I
you
am.
serious? Because
No, but when
I'm
I
not joking.
but when I first came to LA, like you, I didn't know where to get lashes, and I'd always get lashes at Elam in Chicago, which I imagine is like the Nigels of LA. They have everything. They have giant lashes. Their makeup might have lead in it, so I didn't usually buy that.
The knockoff Kylie Jenner.
But they have the most amazing lashes there, and I was like, well, because I'll wear 301s, but I'll wear a 301 and then I'll wear like a
Like a
lash that
rock-a-lash.
like a giant one that doesn't even have like a name or a brand that you can even remember. It's just
Okay.
made in China and that's it. Um, but I had the same pair because I came to LA and I realized I hadn't done gigs in a while, and I was like, oh, I think I've had these for like a year and a half. Still, still work.
They look great.
No,
They
these are new. These are new
Oh, those are new.
for the
Well,
podcast.
oh girl,
Also,
I wore the same pair of lashes for the entire Red for Filth tour, which was like basically 40 shows over 2 months. Same pair of lashes the whole time.
that's iconic.
Well,
Did you get pink eye or
not on that tour, miraculously.
have you ever had pink eye? I've had it like 10 times.
Yes, I have been getting styes. I have one right now.
Ooh.
And but I've deduced that it's not from makeup because this one happened in a time period where I wasn't doing makeup before or during or after. So I was like, it's got to be something else. So I think it's from spraying sunscreen on myself, like spray, like that spray body sunscreen. And I
Oh,
use it on my face periodically. And then I used it, and that's when the sty developed. So I think it has something to do with that. It's
I would
gnarly, dude. It's disgusting.
the sty is.
Yes.
Does it hurt?
No, but it's just like a gross, like Quasimodo thing growing on my eye.
Is that
I
why you're
like
wearing the
walk out in
sunglasses?
I'm like, ugh, yes.
I've heard you can put tea bags on them.
Yeah,
Like
tea
green, yeah, tea
bags.
bag.
It doesn't do anything.
Well, not that. No, I mean you need to put balls on your face, actual testicles,
Okay, well, if
and
that were
that'll
the
help.
case,
It has that good bacteria, you know.
you have to
I
keep the good bacteria in.
My mom actually, I don't know, usually get yeast infections, blessed.
Okay.
But my mom used to tell me, or no, my grandma said you put yogurt on it because of the good bacteria.
Does
So,
that did that work?
it was cooling, you know.
You've been putting yogurt on your pussy for fun anyway, so that's why you never get
Yeah,
them.
it's tasty, right? I'm always so self-conscious about how my pussy tastes. Like I'll ask afterwards, I'll be like, how was it really? Like, can you like give me a
Well,
rating? Because
if
I
everything is okay, then it's like great.
yeah, it should be fine.
Sherry
Yeah,
Vine
it's
once said,
self-cleaning. It's
yes.
self-cleaning.
Sherry Vine once said, I don't get all this like fish jokes and shit because I've eaten pussy before and it tastes like an elbow. Like it doesn't taste like anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I have a bidet now. So
I have a bidet
I have a
now.
bidet now. I have a bidet now. Does that mean I'm gay now? My butthole
Do you
clean
like it?
now.
I don't like bidets.
What?
I don't like it.
What? I am shocked.
Hard spraying water.
So your bussy is umami. Like you like it. It's got a little.
It's sensitive. No,
What?
I wash myself.
Well, yeah, you have to get the right setting because if you have it on like a fire hose setting, then it's gonna hurt. You're using Willem's bidet, that's why. Um
Sandblast.
it's like those water guns that they use to clean sidewalks.
Yeah, it's that.
No, I fiddle with the setting. Um But it's good before sex because then you just don't have to worry. And then the person already thinks you're wet. They're like, oh my God, you're so wet. And it's like, well, that's because I just used my bidet
I am technically wet
with toilet water
with toilet water.
because it's all the same water. Did you know that? Tap
Well,
water, toilet water.
but it's the water in the tank. It's not the water in the bowl that's full of piss and shit. It's like the tank is like clean. I mean, yeah, it is like tap water. It just
I
comes
drink
in
it.
from the
I don't filter my bidet water. I get it raw, baby.
this
But
pussy is Evian, honey. Yes.
it is. Well, I wonder if that's a thing that like really rich bottoms do. Do they have a bidet, but then they have it attached to like a tank of like Fiji water?
Or do they douche with like smart water? Or like distilled? I only douche with distilled. Sorry.
I don't do tap, honey.
I
Okay.
mean, it's the
This
same
isn't
as
the
drinking
Victorian
it.
era. When do you think douching, do you say douche or douche?
Dush.
Douche.
That's so Alexis Mateo on the Snatch Game. Dush.
Douche.
Dush.
Do you I forgot what I was gonna ask.
When did
Um
douching become a popular practice?
yeah, when did it start?
I don't know because I tell you, I was a young gay person learning how to use my body, learning how to get out there and hook up with people and like exploring my sexual awakening. Never knew that existed. I was just going out there, sure, stick it in. Let's go for it.
So, oh yeah, the first time I had anal sex, it was raw. And my asshole was never the same, still hasn't been the same. And I regret that decision. I mean, I don't
Well,
regret it. I just haven't had anal since.
but did you douche yourself?
No.
It's so wild because now that I know what douching is. I'm like, I'm mortified that like I would be out there just like going for it.
Oh, okay. So it's on Wikipedia.
Okay.
Rectal douching is the act of rinsing the rectum with the intent to clean it. The intent to clean it.
Because intention matters.
An instance An instance of this rinsing or a tool to perform the rinse may be called a rectal douche. History.
Rectal.
There's not a long history. A rectal douche device was patented in 1957 in the United States by Patricia, by a woman.
That's
See,
right. I know that's right.
this is why women should be allowed to do drag, because we invented the rectal douche.
You invented douching.
We invented douching. Brag? Wait, is she the fucking vinegar person?
Oof.
Hold on. Hold on.
Because I
She
know
went
that
to Berkeley.
I know that, well, of course, I know that, I know the conversation about it and like sort of demystifying it hasn't happened until like the age of the internet. Because
Very
I
recently.
mean, and I dated a guy when I first moved to LA, and he's sort of like, he sort of told me what it was about and like what, like kind of what to do, but still it was kind of like, wildcat drilling for oil. It was like, well, I don't know if I'm doing this right. And he worked in like porn. So like
Oh.
it didn't become like a normal kind of casual conversation until like very recently.
So what would you do? Do. So what would you do before? Just pray?
I
Eat salad?
swear, I swear that younger people, like when I was 18, when I was 19, I didn't do anything. I just sometimes got fucked in the ass. Granted, not that much, not that very often, but I just
Mm.
did. I just went for it.
Wait,
And
yeah. Same. Same.
I don't know if I shit on anybody. I apologize out there if I shit on you or
You heard it here first. This is her Instagram notes apology. I am sorry if I shit on your dick.
I
And
am very
it's
sorry.
just a Robbie Turner like floral background. And
Yeah.
then you flip to the next page and it's like in January of 1996. Sorry, I'm not trying to age you. I don't know when
I don't know the math,
I don't know when you
honestly.
were
It was in
doing
the 2000s. It
raw
was in the
anal.
2000s.
I apologize for anyone that I shit on their dick. Oh my God, I was friends with this person once. I mean, we're still friends, I guess. I just haven't seen them in a long time. They got chlamydia and they were very promiscuous, which you go, girl. And
Go off.
instead of calling people and telling them that he had chlamydia, he just made a Facebook status. Like, if you've slept with me in the past 3 months, just want you to know you should get tested. You're welcome.
That's fierce to that's where that's where we're at now. I
I
mean,
loved it. Like, I wanted to make fun, but then I was like, you know what? That's kind of a serve.
go off. It's not like this. I'm so sorry. I mean, I still live in that
Yeah.
mentality because of, how old I am and where I come from. It's like, I'm so sorry. It's like, girl, if you're out there, it's bound to happen.
I I once I slept with a bouncer at a Scarlet Bar in Chicago,
Hot.
and it was I did a roast like way back when, a roast of me, and I got very drunk. It was my birthday, and I gave him chlamydia. And I was so well, I just knew because I had sex with him, and then like the next day I got my results. And then
And you were
they
like, damn.
oh, another thing about that is they had to call me back because they were like, we're sorry, there's a mistake. And I'm like, oh my God, thank God I don't have it. And they're like, you actually have it in your asshole too. So there's a different medication you have to take. Sorry, we
They
forgot
said,
to
we're
tell
so
you.
sorry. We have a mistake.
You made a
It's a
mistake. You
terrible
have
mix
AIDS.
up. Oh
Um,
my God.
whatever. We'll cut that out. No, we won't. But so I was so embarrassed and I didn't have his number. So I told my friend Foxy Kim, who hosted the drag shows there, I was like, girl, can you do me a solid and tell this bouncer that I gave him chlamydia?
Oh,
She's like, girl, I got you. So if you're listening,
wow. A bouncer. That's like power. Bouncers are automatically hot to me.
yeah, he was cute.
Automatically.
I've been with well, let's not get out of hand. There's probably some rough looking bouncers, but yeah, I guess they
Still
do
hot
have
to
power.
me.
What's
It's the
that?
power. It's still
It's the
hot to me. The
power.
power.
You're not on the list. I don't see
Right.
this name on this list.
Sorry. I'm not seeing. Sorry. One in, one out. We're at capacity right now.
This is why I don't want to go out if I'm not on a list somewhere.
Well, we have reached that
I'm used to
point
being
in the
on a
program.
list. Like when I have to wait in line for Fat Slut.
You wait in line at Fat Slut?
Yeah, girl.
That seems inappropriate.
I know their bouncers are very strict though. I don't even know if there is a list, but at Berlin it was always skip the line. Rest in peace, Berlin, by the way. Berlin closed. Did you ever perform at Berlin?
I don't know, but I know
Oh.
I've been there. And yeah, girl, it's a changing time, girl. It's heartbreaking. Goodbye, Berlin.
Goodbye,
You
girl.
you wait in line at Fat Slut. That's still I can't compute that. That doesn't make sense in my fantasy. And I'm sure that Meatball would not have that.
Yeah, maybe I just need to ask or whatever. That's probably it.
I used to, when I was young, before I was, ever on Drag Race, before anyone knew who the fuck I was, whatever. That's when I would be like, oh, we're going to the front of the line. I'm not
But this
doing it. Don't
face
you
is
know
my
who I am?
ID.
Don't you know who I am? Excuse me, this. Now, when actually it might work, I will not, because when you do, the worst thing in the world is the walk back, because you have to walk past all those people that you huffed and puffed. And I have my purse, I have my fur coat. Oh, excuse me. No, I'm not one of you. I'm not doing this. And then you go to the front and they're like, no, we don't do that. Then
Has that happened to you?
yes,
Where
it
you've
has
been turned
happened.
away?
Yes.
Where?
Because the bouncer has never heard of Drag Race, doesn't know who the fuck anybody is, and has heard this from 100 fucking cross dressers coming to the door, so they don't give a fuck. So I never do it anymore. That faces my ID thing. That is that is a character. That's a line in a song. That is not real. Don't ever do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. I wait in line. I'll be like, let's make friends.
But then people
Hi.
think you're humble, which is good. And not that you're not humble.
It's an act to convince people of that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I've ever pulled the like this face is my ID. But
It's
sometimes
just
if you believe it enough, they'll believe you. Like if you think you're a
I'm not good at
star,
that.
the
I'm not
world
good
will
at
think
that.
you're a star, you know?
Oh, okay.
The
Yeah.
delusion is real.
Delusion.
That's how I started. When I started Maureen, I was like, I will, I am a star.
Yeah.
Like I'm already
Well,
famous.
you are.
Well, yeah,
You are.
no, absolutely. But like, not everybody's a star. Let's stop feeding into that. Oh, you think so?
Well, no, I just never heard anyone say it out loud. I
Not
don't
everybody's
know.
a
Well,
star.
not everyone needs to be.
Not everybody
I
wants to be a star. That's true.
Not everybody wants to be, and not everybody should be, because if everybody was a star, nothing would get done, and really the world would devolve into complete chaos.
You need the black
people,
space in between. You need the
you
dark
need-
matter.
Yeah, well, you need people who are running shit, who are content to be behind the curtain,
Yeah,
just
you're
in
right.
showbiz alone. And we also need people who were like, you know what, I want to be a doctor. I don't want to be like
Yeah.
a famous cross-dresser. Not everyone should do that.
I feel like it's this weird thing in my head where I'll be like, well, everybody wants everybody
Wants what we
this.
have.
Everybody wants to be a star, which is not true. And as I get older, I'm kind of like, I don't need attention all the time. You
Yeah.
know, I don't feel that need anymore. Like I want to listen and pay attention and be curious about other people rather than
Sure.
having it be about me, right?
Yeah.
I say this as I'm hosting my own podcast
In full drag.
in full drag. I don't need everything to be about me.
I don't want attention.
I don't want attention.
I don't like attention.
I don't need it.
I don't even like it.
I don't even like it. I don't need attention. You brought another prop? Prop queens. Can you see in those?
They're like a mesh.
Oh, they're a
a
mesh.
transvaginal mesh. So you can kind of see, but it's very loosey goosey.
I used to say at shows when I wasn't getting tips that I was raising money for my transvaginal mesh surgery.
What is a transvaginal? It's for like a hernia,
It's for a prolapsed vagina.
Oh, we've all been there.
We've been there, and they just put a little screen door up in there to hold everything.
Okay.
My vagina's really tight though, so
do you struggle with that?
Can't
Or is
relate.
that like, do you love that?
Do I struggle? I have to dilate. No,
Because I have a criminally tight vagina as well.
Oh, you do?
My vagina is where poop comes out.
Oh, really?
It's like it's very difficult to, to really run that highway. It's not. I think my body's not really built for it. So I think it has to be the right person.
The right fit.
For me.
You found your glass slipper.
It's very sword in the stone. Yes, it's very glass slipper.
Also, what a terrible way to like find someone. Be like, I have this shoe. Who's a size 7? So many people. Did she have like baby feet?
It's like a foot thing. It's like I get to go look at all the feet.
That's what I'm thinking.
Kingdom.
That prince was like Quentin Tarantino coded.
Very, very, very that.
Like
He's
I'm
very
just
that girl.
I have a slipper. I mean, I don't think it's gonna fit a lot of people, but you can try.
Has anyone ever called a shoe a fucking slipper except in that fairy tale? I have
That's
never
a
been
heel.
like,
That is a
it's
heel,
a
mama.
shoe. It is a
It's
glass
a shoe.
pump. I would call it a pump. I would call it a shoe. I would call it a wedge. I would call it 1,000 things. It is not a slipper. A slipper is a bedtime shoe. And that is a glass pair of heels.
Yeah. Can you slip on glass?
I guess it would be slippery.
It'd be slippery. Maybe that's why they call it a slipper, because it's slippery.
She would slip. It fell off.
I bet she had to grease up her foot to get in there. It's like latex, you know?
Has anyone ever made glass shoes?
No. Yeah, probably.
Because, like, it would probably feel cool, but I'd be scared of it breaking. You'd have to walk really carefully.
Also, like, there's shoes that look like glass, but there's plastic. What's the point of having lucite?
It's a lucite slipper.
Yeah, glass would be scary. That'd be really scary.
Have you seen One Man, One Jar?
Yeah. Wait, yeah, I think, oh my God.
It would be like that, but with a foot.
I watched Two Girls, One Cup for the first time recently. Did you know
Oh,
the girl died after?
oh
That's the
no.
rumor.
Really?
Yeah, like the shit,
From
I guess, made her really ill and she got sepsis. Sorry to bring down
yeah,
the pod.
that's the thing with, scat.
Well,
It's
and we
like,
know
I
as theater
mean,
queens, you can make a really realistic
shit
replacement
like
for
mixture.
diarrhea, shit like substance.
Were they actually in that movie? I thought they were just putting like fish or like eels in themselves in their different holes.
Oh no, that's a different one. Two Girls, One Cup
Oh,
is they have one cup, but you know it's real shit. You know how like when Divine
oh,
eats the shit
see, yeah.
and you see it come out of the dog, and that's how you know, which is the genius of John Waters. You know, you have to see the dog shitting to know it's real shit because people are going to question,
It's the payoff.
was it real shit? Um, has a drag queen done that again?
I once did Showgirls, like
Hmm.
the movie musical with Peaches Christ in San Francisco.
Hmm.
And part of a Peaches show is she does like the parade where anyone who came dressed up that night gets to walk across the stage. Peaches kind of comments on them, they have their moment, and then the next person, and like it's like that. It's like
That's
drag
fun.
strip kind of vibe.
Yeah.
So when we did Showgirls, Rhea Light, have you heard of Rhea Light?
Is it Rhea Light? Or is it
Not Rhea
Latreille?
Latre,
Okay.
different queen, San
No,
Francisco. Rhea
no, I haven't
Light
heard of her.
came up and she was like in a slutty thing, and she came up and she put like one of those big margarita glasses down
Hmm.
on the stage, squatted over it, and like shit out some kind of white liquid, and then like drank it, and then was like, bye, like walked along. So yes, you have to anal douche, invented by Berkeley scientist, woman
Patricia Bragg,
scientist.
also inventor of apple cider vinegar.
I don't mean to brag, but I invented douching. You have to anal douche, make sure it's all good. Then you use a fake poop substitute. That is the key.
Oh.
Willem tried this. She tried it with a Snickers bar, and then it got stuck. It didn't want to come out because it like got too compressed. Sometimes things absorb into your body. So like Ray of Light must have put that creamy substance in right before coming on stage, because sometimes if you do it too early, your body absorbs it and then you go to do the act and nothing comes out.
Ooh. Maybe she had it in it was like a Tide Pod. You know how they dissolve and she put it in like right before.
Rectal Tide
Yeah,
Pods.
a rectal Tide Pod.
Absolutely.
Remember when kids were eating those? What was that about?
Well, I mean, I don't know, just put them up your butt.
Yeah,
Don't do
and
that.
don't do that. We're not
Anyone
supporting
listening
that
to
on the
this,
pod.
don't do that.
Yeah, I don't encourage rectal Tide
Tide
Pods.
potting.
We've
Have you
talked a
heard of
lot.
putting the Tic Tacs in the ass?
Is that like who recommended that?
Vanessa Vanji Mateo.
Oh, a little anal tic tac. No,
I've
no,
also
but
heard of like Listerine. Like
like
I've never
like
done any of this.
like I put a Listerine, like I pieced together like a Listerine strip and just put it on my pussy like a dental dam, and then say like,
Like,
"Go to
get a load
town,
of this.
fellas, take a
Get
load
a
of
load
this."
of this. Yeah,
Then it'd be a little
yeah.
spicy.
Yeah, I've never tried that. But and I don't know if it's actually true. I don't I don't know. I can't speak to that.
Besides, what about bleaching? Is that I've never seen the appeal of that. Does that just mean you just want a less brown? Isn't it a little racist?
Um uh,
Mhm.
sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Like skin bleaching?
It is sometimes sometimes
Bless
discoloration
you.
happens around that area. And
But
I
how
think
do you,
there are methods to make the skin more equal to the rest of your ass skin, like your butt skin.
have you taken, so since you're famous, are you worried that like if you take a picture of your hole or whatever, that it'll be leaked?
I don't have any pictures of my asshole. I don't believe
Mm,
they've ever been taken.
mm. I
Pictures
re
of pretty much everything else.
I so by the way, I'm drinking a hard Arizona iced tea.
Wait, they make those?
Yeah, you can get it on GoPuff.
So there's drink in it? Like alcohol content?
Yeah, it's green tea, ginseng with honey with 5% alcohol. Isn't that
That is
cunt?
so fierce.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. Um, I forgot what.
And there's green tea in it. So it's like caffeine and alcohol.
I guess, yeah.
So like a
It's
Four
like a
Loco.
classy Four Loco. It's like Four
Yeah.
Loco for adults. Do you drink a lot?
I drink uh I drink often, but not a lot.
When's the last time you like were wasted?
Oh my gosh.
Besides the
Well,
finale of Drag Race season 5.
oh, well, yeah, definitely. I got wasted actually when I was in New York recently. Have you ever gone to Metro or Rosemont?
No. Mm-mm.
Rosemont is very fun. It's a very tiny bar. It's like there's a performance stage, but it's kind of like a room. It's like a small room.
Mhm.
And then there's just like a raised platform like this big, and you're sitting 3 feet from them. There's just a row of like a bank of couches, and you're sitting 1 foot away from the performer, 2 feet away, or 3 feet. And that's it. It's a very
Oh, wow.
intimate,
Okay.
small room. Maybe like 20 people can sit in that room and watch drag. But
Oh, fun.
it's like the coolest kind of it's that Brooklyn cool drag. And I'm like, I'm so honored to get to see drag there because it's fucking good. And we got shit faced on Kylie Minogue wine.
I don't even know it has wine.
She has a wine, it's a
That's
rosé. It's
cute.
actually quite good. And we were having drinks and watching drag. And in New York, that's what they do. They're like, okay, the first drag show starts at 11. It actually starts at 12:30. Then,
Yes.
okay, all right, stick around. We're going to do a brief intermission.
It's an
So
hour.
the second show is fully at 2
I
a.m.
love that. That's very Chicago too.
Very.
I miss
So,
the 4 a.m. bars.
right. So during intermission, I was like, getting to know the girls. And one of the girls was like, oh, and I sing a little bit too. I was like, you need to sing live for your next number. Everybody lip syncs nowadays. I want to see you sing live. So she sang live. She sang a song and it was great.
That's
I
amazing.
stand by that though. I think that like if you can sing live, it boggles my mind that you wouldn't make noise come out of your mouth on stage.
I love it. I do I do find it challenging with certain sound systems. Like I've had people comment before because they would see me sing at Berlin, and that's when they would see me and they'd be like, "Oh, great, she's so funny." But then they would see me sing in a theater and they'd be like, "I didn't know you could sing." And I'd be like,
Exactly.
well, I sing at Berlin all the time. The
Oh
sound
my
system is
God.
just so bad. I wish it
No,
was more
totally.
popular because then people would invest in better microphones and better. Do a lot of queens in LA sing live or?
No. No. And it's like it boggles my mind because like the first time I saw drag was in Tu Wong Fu and Starina was singing live.
Yeah.
So when I went to an actual drag show and someone was lip syncing, I was like, why is she not singing? Like, what's going on?
Whenever I'm lip syncing, that's what I think in my head. Why am I not singing?
Yeah.
I've also lip synced to my own voice, which I'm sure you've done before too. And that to
Never.
never? Did you take
I'm
voice lessons?
I'm like Streisand. Um, well, yes. In high school, I took a little bit of voice lessons. And I took one voice lesson before we did Red for Filth, which that is the most, I think, important voice lesson I've ever had, because she taught me about the like different parts of your head that work, and your
Yeah.
different parts of your anatomy.
Yeah.
And that to me has like transformed my ability, and I can like sing way more notes than I ever could for years.
But you know your range and you have very good control over your voice, I'd say. You know what sounds good in your voice. You don't try to overdo it. I feel like that's the problem. Certain people will sing
Yeah.
something that isn't right for them. Like for me, my piano player, Michael, who you've met,
Mhm.
I have like 2 keys that I sing in, and he knows them, and we go hard with that. So
Yeah. And getting to learn on a horrible sound system is actually such a blessing,
oh
because
my
we're like,
God.
you have to sing sort of loud enough for it to pick up on a microphone. You can't be like, you can't do that because you're in a crowded, loud place with a shitty sound system. So you have, your notes have to be loud enough. So that's where I found the range of my voice that most of my shit happens in, because it has to be loud enough for people to even register that you are saying words.
Oh, absolutely. Like when I would, I was like one of the only people that live sang at Berlin and could pull it
Yeah.
off. Period. Because people would try to, and then they'd never do it again
Yeah.
because they couldn't compare. Um, but when I would do it, I like diction was the most important thing, because if I'm singing a parody song with like 10 different songs and they don't
Yes.
hear the punchline, then it's like, why am I even up there? So when I would perform at Berlin, it would be all about diction, and anywhere else with a good sound system, I'd really like go off on the vocals and show that more. Because if I was trying to show off my voice, you wouldn't even be able to hear the
No.
words. Like I would pretty much oftentimes speak it like a monologue in a way. So,
Right.
yeah, which is sad. It's not, it's just like, I wish the sound system was better, because, you know, you and I have such beautiful, well-trained voices. So I love
Absolutely.
your voice.
Well, thank you. I love your voice so much, and I love what you do so much. And yes, I wish every sound system in America, in every bar, in every place, would magically be good. But the truth is, we are very blessed because we can make it work on the worst sound system.
Yeah.
Did you ever get stuck with that sound system where it's the setting on the thing where when you make noise in the mic, the music automatically ducks down? Have you ever had
Oh,
this?
I've never had that.
It's my nightmare.
That sounds awful though,
Yes, it's
because
hell.
then you can't hear what you're doing
No.
when you're singing. It's like the opposite of having like a vocal monitor.
It's an absolute disaster. The backing track goes down whenever someone's speaking in the mic. It's set up for like if you're a DJ and you're like, all right, drink specials, $5 Jello shots. Then it's easy because when you talk, the music behind you ducks down slightly. So
Yeah.
it makes sense for that. But it doesn't make sense when you're trying to sing with a music track. If it ducked down and then goes back up when you stop singing, oh, it's my absolute hell. It's my nightmare. It should be outlawed.
It should be
Forget
outlawed.
forget drag story hour.
I
Let's have
also
laws against that.
which there should be. No, I'm kidding. Um, I think, well, here's my thing with singing in drag. I don't think you can just sing a song. Just like you can't just do a lip sync. Like if you're doing a lip sync, you're not just going to be lip syncing, you're going to be dancing, you're going to have a gag, you're going to have something. If you're just going on stage and just singing something in a bar, to me, I don't know. You can, especially I'm talking about bars that don't have good sound systems, because I've heard
Yes.
queens that have great voices and then they try to sing a song and it's just like, girl, since you're not giving anything else, like not only does how your natural voice sound not reflecting, but now it just seems like you're a bad singer when you're not, when it's just like the sound system.
Yes. I
If that makes
agree.
sense.
It's always better when something else is going on because
Yeah.
there's the surface, which is like, which to me, I always am like, drag is so absurd. Like,
Yeah.
so if I am standing there and singing a Whitney Houston song, which I do,
As you should.
but I'm also aware of the fact that like
You're
this is
not Whitney
absurd
Houston.
because I am not Whitney Houston. I will never be Whitney Houston. I will not be on her level.
No.
I am a 6'7" drag thing with fucking a crazy thing on the top of my like
Yeah.
there's an awareness of the fact that it's completely bonkers that this is even happening.
Yeah.
And my character that I give it is that I'm taking this really
You
serious.
take everything so
And
seriously, which is what I love about your performances. You're like, I am the only queen in the world, and you
she
will,
believes that
yeah, you
as
command
she
it.
is singing Whitney Houston. So therefore it's funny because like she's obviously not.
Yeah, but
So
you think you are.
I
It's delusional,
right.
which is what your whole career is based on.
Delusion.
Delusion.
Convince
Convince
yourself.
yourself. My party trick is if I'm going to sing a song, bebop boop, parody, 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 at the end, I am belting out the loudest fucking Patti LuPone belted note you will ever hear. So no matter where it is, like you'll be like, oh, and she can sing. But
Exactly.
at the end.
I love that. Your
Yeah.
parodies are so funny.
Thank you.
Working 9 to 5. What a way to kill yourself.
What a way to end up killing yourself. I love it. Although I do want to write original songs. I just have a hard time.
Okay.
Like I can write lyrics. I just don't have that like, because Michael can arrange anything. He's really good at that, just not necessarily like songwriting. So I need to go to some piano bars and find, some piano player who composes and do that.
Well, Jeremy's really good at it.
Does he write songs for you?
He does. And what I do is like I'll write lyrics and it's sort of like a poem and I'm like I don't know how this is going to go to music and then I take that to Jeremy and I'm like what do we think, what can we do with this? And then he kind of comes up with chord progressions and it fits into the lyrics and then you have a song. It's a miracle.
And that's
He's a
your person.
miracle.
How did you guys meet?
We met in psychology class in my freshman year of college.
Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah, I went and sat in like the front row because I heard in like an orientation class that like you should sit in the front row of classes because it shows that you're a serious student. And I was like, fuck yeah, I'm a fucking serious student, bitch. I'm gonna sit in the front row. Everyone else is trying to disappear. I was like, I'm gonna sit right in the front.
I'm Whitney Houston.
I'm Whitney Houston, bitch. So I sat in the front. Jeremy was in the row behind me. And we were like the obviously gay people in the room. And so we started talking and we became friends.
That's amazing. Do you ever just like improvise with him or is it mostly like he's music and your lyrics?
We improvise all the time. Like it's one of our party tricks is we take requests from the audience. And
oh, I love that.
And people shout out songs, murder on the dance floor, your makeup is terrible or whatever. And we do it on the piano.
Oh, I love that.
And so he's really good at, even if he has never heard the song, he could come up with like, he gives me like an open kind of vibe and then I can make something up within it.
Yeah, that's what me and Michael would do, except I'd be like, Michael, let's do Oops, I Did It Again, but it's a bossa nova. Go.
Yes.
Or
That's
it's
so fun.
Or it's this, or it's that. So I would give him a style and then he would like work within that framework. We should do a song together.
I would love that. Absolutely. Absolutely 100%.
Yes, about Patricia Bragg, the the inventor of douching. Like a history.
I love it.
Yeah.
Rectal douching.
I mean, I'm kind of proud, like, that a woman invented that. You know, she really changed the game for everyone.
She really did.
New
Treasure Island
new drag
Media
name.
should cut her a check.
Treasure Island?
Treasure Island Media?
What's that?
It's like really extreme, like bareback gay porn.
Ooh.
It was like before prep even existed. They were like this sort of like bad boys of porn that were like, we don't care. We're raw dogging anyway, bro.
Are you on prep? I hear it gives you really
Uh
crazy dreams.
no, I'm not.
Well, you're
Because
in a
the
monogamous
anal
relationship.
virgin. Hey. That's the WB
Just for
song.
the very first time.
I never
Anal
got
virgin, Metamucil
all the time.
time.
I never got on prep because I was like, bitch, I can't even get a finger in there. Nothing's happening
Oh
in
man.
there. So now, I mean, yeah, no, we're in a monogamous thing, so it's not
How long
there.
have you been together? Or you don't have to talk about it if it's, you know.
We've officially been together 6 months, but we've known each other for years, like 5 or 6 years. So it feels very like natural, and
That's nice.
there's like a level of like trust that I don't have to go through this sort of like long vetting process of like, are you an Insane Drag Race fan who's
Mm,
masquerading as a normal person and you just want to, you know what I mean?
Does that happen?
It has happened to me, and I think I've never gotten over it.
Well, what's the difference between what's what's the difference between somebody that wants to be with you that's just a real fan of your work versus somebody
That's fine.
that wants to be with you because you're famous? Is it because they want that also? Is it they one day they're like, "Can you put me in drag?" Is
There
that what
is
it is?
a certain, I don't know why, but there are people who want to just, they think that they want the proximity of the thing,
Hmm.
of that thing. And this happens to every girl who's been on fucking Drag Race.
Interesting.
And that's why the boners disappear like they do. No one told me that once you get on Drag Race,
You don't get
the
boners anymore?
boners would start to disappear. I was like, am I cursed? Am I disgusting?
Wow.
What's going on? And then I talked to other girls who've been in the franchise, and they were like, no, that happens to me too. I thought it was just me. It's because, and I think what I can analyze
Drag
of it,
rectile dysfunction?
it literally is that. I think what I can analyze it to be is that guys, they're not maliciously all the time, but they convince themselves that like they are attracted to you because they are attracted to you. They're attracted to your energy. They've seen you on
Yeah.
TV. There's energy around you. So that gets mistaken for like chemical attraction. And then
Parasocial.
sh- perisocial.
Parasocial.
That's my drag name.
Parasocial. Well, it's like you know someone so well because you listen to their
Right.
podcast or you watch them perform to the point where
Right.
you think you know them, but you have no idea.
Mm-hmm. Then you get into an intimate situation, and then their mind is spiraling about, oh my God, this person's on Drag Race. They have a lot of followers. Like, what if I don't, what if like something bad or weird happens here? Like then they're gonna, talk about it are they gonna tweet about me? Their mind is
Oh,
going in a million different directions. What is Michelle Visage like in real life? Their mind is going in a million different places, which makes your dick not work.
that's so interesting. And
I
and
wish someone would have told me that, like, once you get on Drag Race, but you won't be swimming in trade like you think you will be, but boners will actually be difficult. If someone told me that, I would probably still want to be on Drag Race because it's my destiny, but I
Well,
would have thought twice.
it's very specific though, because you're gay. And if you're gay, a gay man particularly, Drag Race is inescapable. It's not like there are
Yes.
straight men that are like, oh, I don't know what that is. I don't know what drag is. I don't know what Drag
Yes.
Race is.
Yeah.
But to find a gay man that's like, I don't know what that is, I feel like that's way more rare. You're like the royal family of gay people, you know?
Right.
Yeah, more famous. Being like, I don't want to say like micro celebrity. That's so rude. But like being that famous in such a space that's like already your community, it's like inescapable.
Yes.
You know, you almost probably want to hide in some sense. Do you
I
still like
do.
to go out after shows and like mingle, or is it just too much if it's not like a meet and greet situation?
Yeah, sometimes. And being a micro celebrity is actually great because
Yeah.
I get to still have those experiences. If I want to go out to a fucking gay bar, which I love to
Yeah.
do, it isn't a shit show. It isn't crazy. Sure, some people come up and are like, and want to say hi, but like, isn't that's like fine. That's a good
Yeah.
thing. I'm not Charlize Theron, where she goes out to dinner, but everyone in the restaurant stops and can't breathe because she's in the room. That
But that
girl, I
happens when
mean,
you go to the Eagle. You're the Charlize Theron of the
it
Eagle.
does not happen. Like some people come up and say hi, and generally I get to just have a nice time, and that's a blessing.
Well, that's because every gay man thinks they're famous anyway.
Right. They're all Charlize Theron,
They're
honey.
all Charlize Theron in their minds. What's like the weirdest, like, have you had any stalkers
Um,
besides me? Knock, knock.
yes.
I'm at your door.
Yes. Yes. There was someone who, ooh, that's better. Oh, that's good. There was someone who was sending me emails and it was really terrorizing me for a while.
Oh, I'm
But
sorry.
then they stopped. At a certain point, I was like, I can't, I can't just, and they're probably listening to this right now because I could tell they were a super fan because they knew everything that I did and everything I talked about and every word I said on this or that. So like they're probably listening to this right now. If they are, fuck you. But what they did was I would block their email because I was like, I don't need to receive this. And then they would change their email and they would send it from a different email. And
Oh,
then I would block that email. And then it would be like, and then they would email my friends and they'd be like, this is very serious, this is very important, and you need to tell, Alaska this and like whatever. And finally I messaged them and I was like, your messages are not wanted, please stop.
yeah.
And I think that's when it kind of did stop because it was like, because maybe me blocking them, they just thought it was like, I don't know, they thought it was my secretary doing it or something.
And I did stop, and I do apologize.
Thank you. I fucking hated that person. I don't like that person,
That's sick.
whoever they are.
I had a stalker once in college, and it was really scary.
You did?
I did. Yeah. I mean, I was blackout drunk for the majority of college, as you
Oh,
are. I went to a state
okay.
school in Illinois, corn country. There's not much else to do. But I don't know
Yeah.
if I met them at a party or whatever, but they would call me like a cunt and a slut and this and that. And then I was in my this is terrifying. I was in my college computer lab just on my Facebook, and someone, you know how you can like remotely go into someone's computer, like if you
Yeah.
get tech support in your computer, and my cursor started moving, and then they started writing all of these like horrible things like in a message
That's
I was
like,
typing to my friend. So they
that's like,
were they were in that room with me. and they would log into my Facebook. They would hack in and write statuses about me being a whore or whatever. Yeah. And to this day, like they didn't stop until like I would still see logins on my Facebook that were like from a certain IP address. I have no
Oh
idea who
my
they are. So
God.
whenever someone like slightly weird from my college wants to add me on Facebook, I'm just like,
Was it you?
it could be
That
you.
shit is scary. That should be a movie.
I know, isn't it scary?
That's kind of like The Net starring Sandra Bullock, but
it
like
was
scarier.
it was terrifying. Like one time they left a message on my voicemail before I changed my number and they were like June 5th or something. They like set a date. And I was like, what's gonna happen? Are you gonna murder me? And this was
That is
before I wasn't even
so,
famous. It's just
that
called
is
being a
so
woman. And you'll get a
freaky.
stalker. Yeah.
That's so freaky. I hate that. Oh my God.
Yeah. So, but there needs to be when's the Alaska Thunderfuck movie coming out? Because I know you have the reality, the docu series.
I I have an idea for a movie and I want it to get made. And for a long time I was like, drag movie, that doesn't need to happen. But I
We've
have
all
like a
seen AJ and the
vision.
Queen.
Do you know that fucking AJ the Queen fucked it up for everybody? Because
They did.
because it was such a disaster and did so poorly. And it was starring the biggest drag queen in the world, and all of the other drag queens were in it too. And it did so badly that now all the major networks, all the major streamers won't even talk about it if it says drag. If it's about drag, they're like, we don't want to hear about it. AJ and the Queen didn't work. Drag stuff doesn't work.
Oh,
They
that's
fucked it up
so
for everybody.
fucked up.
But anyway, but there is a movie that I want to see made, and so hopefully that will happen.
Because you're like you're actually a really good actor. I saw you in that play you did at Pasadena Playhouse.
Oh,
The
thanks.
Yeah, you're like who else do you think are the good actresses in the drag race arena?
Jinx Monsoon.
Willem.
Oh yeah, Willem's really great too. Jinx Monsoon is so good. We're doing Drag the Musical in LA,
Mhm.
and then we're going to keep doing it elsewhere, which I can't talk about, but that is the plan. Uh, but I'm like, well, what if I like can't go on, or like who's gonna be my understudy? And I'm like, I want Jinx Monsoon to be my understudy. She's so good.
Can I be your understudy?
Oh my God, yes.
Okay.
Ah,
I'll be your
yes,
understudy. I'm a terrible
absolutely.
understudy. I was an understudy once in this play about Dungeons and Dragons, and
Oh,
it was bad. I was in a lot of bad plays in Chicago. I was in a play called Incest, a love story, which I played a
okay.
very let's just say I'd get canceled for it if video ever came out because it was very like no, it was very yeah, I don't even want to get into it. But
Experimental
experimental.
theater.
But yeah, it was
Yeah.
basically about a woman falls in love with this guy and they have sex and then she finds out it's her father. And yeah. And my friend Rich Katofsky, if he's listening, one time I saw him at this theater festival and he was like, "You were in the worst play I've ever seen." I was like, "Yeah."
You're like, that's right.
But in dating, it was called Dating and Dragons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I was an understudy to a lead. And at that time, I was dating like a coke dealer and doing things and which was fun actually at the time. Um and like low level.
Not
And
Sofia Vergara in that new show.
no,
Not
not
that
that.
level. Not
Nothing
that
bad.
level. Okay.
Like gay level. Like how gay cocaine dealers are. But
Casual.
he was casual.
Social.
Um
Parasocial.
Parasocial. And I was like, I had a small part, but they were like, we do an understudy rehearsal. So learn your part. And on this day, you will perform as the character you're understudying for. And I didn't learn any of my lines. They wanted us to be off book. I was not off book
It was your
at
one
all.
night. It was your big night.
Well, no one was there. No one was there. It was just people in the show. And then the girl that was actually the part, um, every day I'd go up to her in the dressing room and I'd be like, "Are you feeling okay? Are you taking care of yourself?
Uh-huh.
Do you want some emergency? Like, what can I do?" And she's like, "Don't worry, I won't get sick." And I'll be like, "But if you're sick, you'll go on, right?" And
Yeah.
I don't know. I would have figured it out, but I'll still be your understudy.
That
Just
would have
tell
been really funny if you had to go on, if like something happened.
I just would have used the script. I've
Yeah.
seen that happen before. My friend David Serta, who you would love, he runs like a very campy theater in Chicago called Hell in a Handbag. And they do Golden Girls and they do like Showgirls parodies and
Oh, I
all.
love that.
You would love it. But I did see him once have to fill in for somebody, and he's like the artistic director of the theater, and he wrote the show. And
Yeah.
he went, he was like, had his script the whole time, and he'd like make up lines. He'd be like, "So what? I don't know my lines." Like, as like fucking Dorothy in Golden Girls,
I
which
love
I
that.
which I love. It's so funny because when you write something, you'd think you'd remember all of it. Not the case.
Not the case at all.
Not the case.
No.
Do you write all of your material? Do you have ghostwriters?
I like to collaborate.
Collab. Okay.
Like usually with my songs, I come in with what with an idea and what I think it is. And then we like fill in the blanks with like a co-writer. Like my book, it was like I wrote some of it. Then my co-writer wrote some of it. And then I like took what he wrote and changed it into like my language.
Yeah.
So like I like to collaborate.
You're the idea person.
I'm the idea man.
Have you gone to ChatGPT and been like, write a parody about Patricia Bragg in the style of Alaska Thunderfuck and
Did you
like
see the
seen
one that was like in the style of RuPaul, using as many drag references as you can? Please have her explain the events of 9/11. And it's like, oh, honey,
that's hilarious.
darling, let me spill the tea on that tragic day, honey. September 11th, 2001 was a total wig snatcher, and not in the fabulous way we queens like. We're talking about a major kiki turned into a catastrophe, sis. So picture this, it was a fierce morning in NYC, and then bam, those wicked terrorists pulled a stunt, crashing planes into the Twin Towers, leaving the whole world gagged and gasping. It was a disaster of epic proportions, sweetie, and not in the death drop way we usually adore. And it goes on. That is so fucked up.
I love that. On that note, we're going to take a little break and then go into the Icon Even. Welcome back to Icon Even. So I am here with Alaska, who, oh my God, such an amazing guest. But it is time for the Icon Even portion of our podcast. Alaska, what can't you icon even about?
Well, I have a couple.
Okay. You have to say
First,
icon even before.
first, I can't even with the moving walks in an airport. And there are people, there has to be a shift in the culture that, listen, you can get on the moving walk and stand still. You know what? I would die for your right to do that. But to stand in the center and take up the whole thing with your rolling suitcase and your bag on the other side, to take up the whole thing, to disallow people from walking past you. And then when I'm like, excuse me, I need to get around, it's like, what? Like, what are you like, how dare you? The culture needs to be shamed so fiercely from doing that it stops being that. And then you're like walking along in the airport and you're like, okay, no, this person's walking. They look like they're gonna walk on the moving walk. I'm in a hurry. I got to get to my gate. So okay, I'll take the moving walk, because if they look like they're not gonna walk, then I will go. I'll scoot around and I'll just not use the moving walk, because I'm like, okay, but these people look like they're gonna walk. Then they get on, stand still, and two people wide.
No way to get around.
Cannot fathom that someone would need to like walk around. It literally sometimes says, stand here, walk here. It can't be any more clear. I don't understand who these people are.
Who do you think you are?
My other thing, I can't even with gigs that want to ask you for your music 6 weeks in advance.
No, I hate this too.
My everlasting angel. Let me tell you, as someone who has produced shows, who has, directed shows, who has written shows, I know that I could change my track 5 minutes before I go on stage, put it in a Dropbox, and it would still play just as easily as it would if I send it to you 4 months in advance when you're asking me. And then you send me an email asking me every single week leading up to the event. Your job,
who did it?
Your job, it's not one person.
It's all of them.
There are so many, and it's usually people who like, the people who run shows all the time don't do this, because they're like, I could ask for the song from, Sissy Gunterson or whatever the drag queen's name is, but she's going to change her mind on the day anyway, because drag queens are ephemeral, emotional beings. I don't know what I'm going to sing at your brunch. You mean
mentally ill. Emotional, ephemeral beings.
Yes. I don't know what I'm going to sing at your brunch until the day comes and I'm on the plane and I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of vibing this song. Then I will email it to you and you will have it in plenty of advance time. But stop asking. I'm not going to send it, and you shouldn't expect it. I can't even
with that too. I feel like 24 hours is generous.
That's
24 hours.
That's fine. I can do that.
Well, because if it's a book show, I get how the DJ wants to like have them all lined up.
Make sure no one's doing the same songs. Exactly. I'm not doing the same song as anybody. I can guarantee you.
Me neither. Me neither.
Guarantee you.
Well, no, but like I write my songs, so it's like nobody's gonna do the same one. I write my material, darling. But yeah, I mean, you want to test them. Me, when I send something, it's going to say Maureen, track 1, Maureen, track 2.
Simple.
Then in the body of the email, play the song when I say play the song. I'm going to talk and then play. Time had I can't even. This will be my I can't even.
Okay.
I can't even. I did a show once and I'm about to go on stage, and it's during the whole Britney movement, the Free Britney movement. And so I'm doing Not a Girl, Not Yet a Woman, but it's the whole ballad, and I have props and I have stuff planned. I have a protect queer art sign. I have all of it. And the manager of the bar is doing the music, and he's like, so are you doing the whole song? And I was like, yes. I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, okay, like judging my
as an artist
song choice as an artist. He's like, are you really gonna do the entirety of Not a Girl, Not Yet a Woman? And I'm like, yeah, because I'm not a girl, not yet a woman, not yet seen as a drag queen that can make valid artistic choices. It was just funny.
The whole song.
You're gonna do
Hmm.
the whole song.
Huh, interesting choice. Very RuPaul in the walkthrough in the workroom. Oh,
I
so you're doing the whole
The whole
song.
song?
Huh.
I
Interesting.
I couldn't even one time, which if somebody says something in an audience and I'm not there to hear it and it's bad, don't tell me about it. So I'm on stage being like, yeah,
Yeah,
doing my thing,
it won't
sing-
help.
singing on stage, and my friend's in the back. And he comes up to me after the show and he was like, I couldn't believe it. These two queens behind me, these two queens behind me told me they'd already just heard you do that song at Hamburger Mary's. And we're like, how are you? She just did this. Why is she doing it again? And I'm like, girl.
No. Listen, when Just Dance came out, do you know what Lady Gaga was doing at every fucking parking lot or news channel or fucking club she was singing Just Dance because that was the song at the moment.
Why can't drag queens get away with like signature? It feels like every single time it has to be a new thing. I feel like
I
because of
don't
the
feel
internet.
that.
Well, maybe in Chicago I felt like that a little bit, where it's like it always has to be a new thing. No,
No, it's the song of the moment.
the song of the moment.
And if you get to see it again, lucky you.
Are you performing at all this weekend?
Barbara Streisand performed, if you go see her in concert, she's going to sing Memories Like the Corners. Do people say, oh, this old song again? No, you expect it.
She just did this at Hamburger Mary's.
Yes, people do expect things, but it's up to us because we're artists and because we're
Yeah.
singers. It's up to us to say, no, sometimes there's hits that are out of your control.
Mm,
I don't always want to do your makeup is terrible every place that I go to.
no.
However, if I'm going to a city I haven't been to in 5 years or I haven't been to ever, I see the reaction when I do that
They
song,
love
and the
it.
reaction is good. So I'm like, they do in some level want this. So you mix the classic stuff in with some new stuff if you want to.
Absolutely. You have your signatures. Have you before we wrap up, have you because all I've been getting this comment in LA and I don't take it offensively, but I haven't been as much focused on performing. So I'm not like submitting to shows or reaching out to people, but people will
Okay.
come up to me, they'll like recognize me or whatever, which is still, oh, I'm famous. But they'll say, I don't understand why nobody books you. And I'll be like, yeah, me neither. Like, you're so
That
great.
is that is so LA. Like, why do people say these things to people?
Yeah,
What?
I don't know. It's just one of those things.
If I wanted to be booked, I could be booked because I have built everything I did for the ground up.
Yeah, if I and I
Go
and
to
I and I
drinking.
was and I was booked, but then moving to a city is like terrifying and hard, and you have to like get your bearings and your base and your stability. So,
Totally.
but I'm gonna start doing shows again. And maybe the people that are booked a lot shouldn't be, you know?
I can't even.
I can't even. All right, Alaska, thank you so much. You're such a good guest. You're so easy to
Thank
talk
you.
to. I didn't
Thank
feel
you.
like, like we had to work.
This is my dream is to get a wig made that looks exactly like my real hair so that I don't have to shower or do my hair.
So you can
But
do the Monet exchange things.
On Zoom, you can kind of get away with it. I thought I was giving realness.
I thought that was your real hair.
See? Okay,
That's
on
not
Zoom
your
you
real
can get
hair?
away with it. This is not my real hair.
Actually, put it back on again.
Wait, where's the front?
That's
Put it
me and
on
all
back.
my wigs.
Like,
Where's the
what if I
front?
what if I put it on backwards? Ooh, that's kind of punk.
Oh, that looks even more real.
Kind of like yeah. Fashion.
That
Wait,
is
I never
giving
put these
Gen
on.
Z.
I know.
You look
Jennifer
10 years
Z.
younger.
Jennifer
That
Z.
that is giving judgmental twink at the drag show in the front row, not reacting
I can't
on
understand why
their
you don't get
phone.
booked more.
I don't know why you don't get booked more.
Didn't you just do this at Hamburger Mary's this song?
Didn't
What
you
is this
just wear
flip?
that at Hamburger Mary's?
What is this Faith Hill flip? Ooh, I kind of love it.
I love that. I love do people know when they're making backhanded compliments like that? Or does it just come natural?
I
I don't
think
know.
I think that people don't. And it's the same thing with like humble bragging. I think that it becomes second nature because they do it so often. And I think that it's the same thing with backhanded compliments.
By the way, and I mean this as a compliment, like I just don't understand why you don't get booked more.
I took it up. Thank you. Thank you. What is
Thank
your response supposed
you.
to be? Thank you.
Thank you.
Girl,
I'm
bye.
like honestly nice to everyone. The only time I'll be rude is if somebody like gropes me and then I will berate them in front of an entire crowd. You know how
Yeah, we
gamers.
don't do that.
Yeah,
We don't
exactly.
do that.
Well, on that note, um, fans of Icon Even, please rate my podcast. Give me 5 stars on Spotify, 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. If you do
That
leave a
part.
review that says, I really think Maureen SanDiego should get booked more, I will read it on the pod. Share this episode with your friends. Follow me at Maureen SanDiego on Instagram and on TikTok. Alaska, do you have anything you would like to promote?
Da, 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 da. Drag the Musical is coming to LA. I want you to come. Let me know when you want to come.
Yes, I
We'll
will
get you
come.
tickets. I am really excited about it. Manila Luzon is joining the cast this time. And
I love
there's a
her.
lot of
She's so talented.
girl, I love the musical so much. Getting to do it is wonderful. We're doing that in March at the Bourbon Room in Hollywood. 2 weekends only. So come on down.
I will
It's
come.
it's good. I'm proud of it. Da, da,
I
da, da,
will
da,
be
da,
there.
da, da, da.
And thank
Ah.
you, everyone, for listening to I Can't Even.